just so good at punishing Rook with the quicksand and like everything else he brings to the table with his Petrify. So overall, mainly it was a draft thing last week. Space Station Gaming mega out-drafted Angry Face. We'll see if that changes this week. We did see the Baco. We know that Angry Face is trying to bring new things to the table. Dang, that worked out just right. We were talking about the draft, we get right into it. The people in the back, they own.
Well, it would have been cool if you hadn't brought it up.
No, that's the best. Dude,
yeah.
we get all the thanks, but this was because the people in the back are just sick.
Yeah, we had nothing to do with this. We had absolutely nothing to do with it.
I didn't do that intentionally. They just did it.
Raygon ban, Paloma ban.
Makes sense. Ban a Raygon against Blackie. That's what you do. The Paloma ban Bloom is really good at that hero. Champion. Bloom is insanely good at Paloma.
I mean, he's great with almost every support, to be fair. But I guess, yeah, Paloma, a good Paloma is probably one of the most infuriating things to deal with.
Yes, it's so annoying.
Getting everything you want in Dreams swapped on the other side of it is probably like the most blood-curdling thing. Like, I start to fume, right? We see Baco and Angry Face. There it is, so they're breaking out the Baco again.
Ban the older, ban the older. Angry Face, do it. Get rid of older. Yeah, that's not older. That's Ulrich. That's the wrong
It's close. Oh.
Wrong
Somebody's standing out to older. Like, no, Ulrich, no. It's like, sorry, too late.
Well, I guess the Ulrich ban makes sense. Rook only has that one iframe, and then you get the older. And now you're playing against Rook, Iva, older again. Do you want this, Angry Face?
They must.
Was this the desired outcome? Man, it's so scary. I feel like maybe, man, this is going to be really weird. I feel like Space Station Gaming is just going to be very, very good at punishing aggressively, and they have the Iva prepared to punish the Baco. The oil is so good against Baco because Baco relies so much on just running around and WASDing. And also the Iva being able to cleanse off the Warshout with the Taser.
Yeah.
It's just so good. Like, Iva's such a good pick against Baco, especially considering when Baco tries to in-cap, you can just zap, you cleanse it.
Yeah.
So this already looks pretty scary here. We're on Skyring Night, a bit of a more open map, and it's funny, because you and I were just talking about this earlier.
Yeah, I confused them.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring that up, but you can.
I mean, I'm an idiot. We don't need to hide the fact from that I'm an idiot.
Yeah, Carpet and I were talking about Baco and what maps he was good on. I was like, Skyring Day. He was like, that's the one Baco's bad on. I was like, no, Carpet, that's Skyring Night. And now here we are on Skyring Night, and there's a Baco. This map definitely not so favorable for the Baco, and with everything that is being brought to the table by Space Station Gaming, I'm a little scared for him.
So just to talk a little bit on the history of Space Station Gaming.
Yeah.
Talking about they've only lost to one team and they lost to them twice.
Yes.
Is that a pick thing, or is that team just no?
I don't know.
Is it like,
honestly,
are those three?
I think I need to see like 2 more best of 3s between them to see it on it, like actually what it is, because the draft from the Beast Hunter against Space Station Gaming was very good. So that probably had a large part of it. Just a lot of big brains over there figuring out what Space Station Gaming wanting to do and how to ban against it. But this time it seems to be the opposite. It seems like Space Station Gaming are the ones with the big brains, and Angry Face are in the precarious situation. We'll see if they're able to climb their way out of this hole.
Are you assuming they have little brains? Is that what you're insinuating?
No.
No. Everyone has a temporary little brain sometimes, you know?
Yeah, when they're
Every now and then you have that moment, you're like, oh, tiny brain.
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, man, starting off hot. This Iva taking a lot of pressure at first, getting chunked down pretty hard, but Blackie doesn't make it out without taking a lot of damage himself. Rook farming up a lot of that energy too. He has the Eat available. He will use it. Throws a rock onto Crooks, not letting him have too much space. The orb gonna be taken by Blackie. Really nice. Oh, actually not. Blue team managed to secure it.
All right, Rook wants to try and push that support back, and he's actually just going to turn his attention onto Baco instead. Proster not taking much damage at all, to be honest. And they're actually, are they going to secure the kill?
Oh, the older ultimate, it came out so late, but it does still help the Crooks survive. The older ultimate from Bloom is the return. Jumong does end up going down at the end of the trade, though, and Proster and co looking pretty strong here. Proster, look at his HP bar, Carpet. He's got so much.
That's his specialty.
Yeah.
His specialty is that he doesn't actually take damage.
Yeah.
Which
it's
is
like
a weird ability.
It's a hidden passive.
Yeah, it's a hidden passive. Has an 80% chance to take 0 damage.
Yeah, and
that's Proster's passive.
He definitely rolled in favor of it this time as he ends the game at 170 HP. And we're saying it's Proster's hidden passive, but also a lot of it is this guy. Bloom doing such a good job keeping the Rook alive and doing a lot of peeling for Rook when he's in a bad situation. If Proster ever finds himself in a bad place, Bloom's just like, well, I'm taping down M1 and I'm throwing a quicksand on the targets that are going on him. And he just does so much damage in return that the other players have to disengage. They have to get off the Rook, because even though there's a punishing window open, they're just getting bodied by this damage from the older coming out from Space Station Gaming.
And we saw, so Crooks had like 60 health, got ulted by older, and stayed aggressive.
Yes.
And I imagine because at that point he's like, well, I've already used so much cooldown for Rook, but that's we saw the map kind of come into play. He just couldn't break line of sight from that rush afterwards. Yeah. He was able to keep up and actually get some more max health without the trade, but then he tried to use his normal abilities to break line of sight, and he just couldn't get around a wall. There's just not a lot of obstacles in this map. And now Rook on that back line, double in cap, double M2, double boulder. So much value right now. Proster's playing out of his mind.
That was so sick. A verse, he tasered Crooks down bottom too, so everybody on Angry Face was CC'd, as is Crooks right now, but the Iva's getting incredibly low here. A verse maybe overplaying his hand a little bit, will get some green shards, but still definitely not with enough HP to hard engage. The double rain of arrows is going to push out the older ultimate too. It does find the stun, but once again, Guess has his ultimate in return. Blackie going to go down in Space Station Gaming. This draft is so good against what Angry Face are trying to do.
That so Guess just ate half of Iva's ultimate with his shield, and then he can only throw back one bullet.
He threw back one. Did he throw back the one?
He threw
Good.
He threw back the bullet, but it's like it's kind of still so bad. It's like you're like eating like 300 damage, and you're like 6.
Yeah, it feels bad, man, to be the older in that situation. Feels bad, man, to be on the side of Angry Face right now. I think that's a more accurate emoji to describe how this match is going for them. They're falling behind hard 2-0. And Space Station Gaming, these rounds, Carpet, have not been close. This has been very dominant from the blue team so far.
A lot of the pressure split up between the two of them. Proster just knows how. Between Proster knowing how to not take damage and Averse just taking damage on purpose sometimes, I swear. The dude gets so low and he's like, nah, we good.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, I'm fine. No big deal.
Like, he knows when the trade's worth it, even if he loses more health, because he's so confident in his balance. Look at him, he's all alone back there. He doesn't even have U-turn. What is he doing?
Yeah, this is a scary situation. That taser not going to get procced either. As a result, the zap going to help mitigate some of the damage. But Space Station Gaming does get back and get the orb. And Iva, he's now sitting on an ultimate, and that machine gun is chewing through Crooks.
He has to use Prowl to try and get out of there, and there's the ultimate. It's going to go down!
Oh my goodness!
Literally, first it was like, I'm just going to take a bunch of damage, guys. You just make sure you kill and do enough, ability forcing out of them so that I can just ult the crap out of Jamong. And then don't worry, guys. I'm just going to put myself in a really dangerous spot. No support. Don't worry about it. My name's Averse. Honey Badger, you know?
Yep. Man, and that's really the sign of an experienced team. Space Station Gaming right there, Averse getting gone on hard, but the other two players, Bloom, still positioning so far towards middle that once Averse inevitably had his space bar up again, he just spaced away and they got the orb. And then suddenly Space Station Gaming had the orb advantage and they had center control and things just looked so good for them. Angry Face engaging too hard, chasing too far for a kill that they would not get, gonna cost them that round.
3 rounds in a row and not showing any sign of slowing down. Will we see a 5-0 sweep here from Space Station Gaming? Proster again on that backline, forcing the space out of Crooks. There's the Prowl down as well. He doesn't have a space yet because he didn't use the reset.
Oh, this is kind of a scary situation for the Rook. He's going to try to go in. Enough cooldowns have been burnt by the Jumong to where he can safely land that charge. He has farmed up with a little bit of energy, but the counter's not hit. A nice double taser going to land on the red team. And oh my god, the Prowl comes out. But Carpet, he's still so low. The older ultimate was forced because of a quicksand. That is the state of this round. Angry Face is so far behind here, and Space Station Gaming have all the momentum. However, Iva gets turned on in the beautiful coordination of damage from Blackie and Guess punish Averse's over-aggression, and they actually managed to turn it.
They might actually lose this round, but this is going to be tough. There's one.
Crooks.
There's 2. Unable to land the third, but he keeps the energy. But it gives Bloom time to secure the orb. This is huge. They're trying to keep this gap. They're winning these trades. They used one ultimate.
Carpet.
Another from Bloom.
I've seen this show before. I've seen.
Oh my god! He nearly got him with the friggin' meat.
He still gets him! This is a round Space Station Gaming are going to win. In this 2v3 situation, they did this at the LAN finals, and they get a huge chunk here out of the Baco. The older ultimate does barely land onto the Rook, but still the advantage is in favor of Space Station Gaming as they have 10% more HP, which is huge in this late game scenario, and they get an orb. Carpet, Space Station Gaming, Bloom, and Proster are so good in these clutch situations.
Baco wants to engage so bad, but he knows that Rook is just going to out-trade him ability after ability. Iframe for iframe. They're going to go in on the Baco. He uses War Shout. He needs support. Here's the ultimate. Can he get out of this one? He's going to try and jump on the one. He's going to get the M2. He barely makes it out of there.
So many cooldowns have been used by Angry Face here, and it's going to enable Space Station Gaming to safely get the orb. 23% is now the HP advantage, though it has been changed, or has been lessened just a little bit. The older ultimate from the red team is available, but Proster is okay here, as is Bloom. Bloom's still sitting on his own ultimate, and the EXM2 from Proster gonna find the kill onto Blackie, gets the next to fall, and Space Station Gaming, you heard me call it early in that 2v3, they are going to win those time after time. They won the World Championship for a reason, and it is because in these tense moments, they're able to lay it all on the table. They drop it on the table, find these clutch coordinations where they get the kill, and they come back in the round as a result. My God, that looked good.
I mean, there's this perfect amount of gas you have to have on the pedal the moment you're down by one.
Yeah.
The moment you're down by one champion, and they always know. They know exactly how fast that is. They know how to keep pressure on the orb. They know how to force cooldowns out of their opponents so they can never do too many cooldowns at once. They never allow the reset, and that's what let them take down the first champion. From then, it was just a clinical 2v2 for them. We'll see if Angryface can try and come back from that one. That can't feel good, but Baco taking so much damage. Flamethrower through the bulwark. He's down to 62 health, and they lose the orb. This is not a good start for Angryface.
This is over, Carpet. Look at that HP, or that energy on Bloom. It's expended here, and he finds the sun. That's going to be connected into a taser, and the boulder. Guess has been taken out of the game. No longer in this round, and Angryface are no longer in this match as Space Station Gaming cleanly 5-0 Angryface and take their spot as the safe second place in Group A.
You call it clean, I call it dirty.
Yeah, that was dirty.
That was
Honestly,
dirty.
yeah.
That 2v3 was pretty dirty. You don't get to see those very often, but it's just the confidence. And like I said, always knowing exactly how much pressure to put on, that you're not overcommitting as the 2, and that you're also forcing the 3 to never have all their cooldowns. Because the moment they out cooldown you, there's almost nothing you can do. You have to really, they'd have to kind of overlap like 3 or 4 abilities at the same time for you to really keep that an even fight. Or you just keep securing orb and lose a little bit health each time. It lets you lose those trades a little bit because you're getting that health back. But the perfect amount, man. They played it so well. They got that kill. They secured every orb. From the moment they were down by one champion, they still secured every orb.
Yeah, and when that round started, when that 2v3 started, I just had flashbacks of DreamHack. I was just like, oh God, this is the same thing that happened before. This is Space Station Gaming. They find that kill with that perfect amount of gas like you're talking about. That honestly,